So I'm here with Jim Stanton of Nooksack Blueberries. We're at 102 South Pass Road, and you can see the beautiful scenery behind us. Jim, could you tell us a little bit about the farm here?
Sure, Jed. We have 10 varieties, which we have sectioned off and throughout the field. Each variety is a little different, it has different flavors and different characteristics and different size of berries. A lot of the people that come for U-picks enjoy a specific variety. And we often get phone calls from people that want to buy fresh picked berries of a specific variety. We pick our berries according to the varieties and sell them according to that too, so that people know what they're getting.
And what are your favorites?
Well, I love them all. It's hard to claim a favorite, and that's a question that a lot of people ask me, but it's usually during the peak of their season that the berries taste the best.
And then how'd you get into blueberry farming?
Well, I started farming blueberries. I started picking blueberries when I was a kid. I was 13 years old in Bellevue, and I worked my way through junior high, high school, and college. So I worked on that farm about 10 years, and I always wanted to have a farm, and so in the fall of 2016, we bought this farm. It's been a great experience. As I say, a lot of people come for U-pick, and we've got a lot of people that we've gotten to know. It's been a good experience. Our Spartans come on first, and they're a big plump berry that's sweet in flavor. We get into the fresh market very quickly with those. They'll come on typically July 5th is the date that they'll ripen and we'll be picking. And this is, again, I say, some people, this is where they go, and they'll come here after they've been ripe for a couple of weeks and they're still picking them.
So you find some people have a favorite variety?
Oh,
they come and
yeah.
pick just that one?
Oh, yeah. So the Spartan field ends right here, and these last two rows are Brigittas, are a favorite of a lot of people too. The Brigittas were developed in Australia. They are sweet with a hint of tartness in them, and they can be a big berry. And then the Brigittas go all the way down here too on these two rows. So Hardy Blues start right here, and there's roughly an acre of Hardy Blues. The Hardy Blues are a smaller berry but very sweet. A lot of people like those for their smoothies. It's sweet. These plants are well mature, and you can see this plant here has got lots of berry buds. These are going to be the berries right here, the blossoms.
Really?
Yeah, and so you look at this and you think, wow, I've got good blossoms. We need to kind of trim some of this up and get rid of some of this scraggly stuff.
So they'll flower first and then produce the fruit?
That's correct,
Okay,
yeah.
cool. So
the flower, we bring the bees in just as they're flowering. We want to bring the bees in just in time, but not too soon. And then they pollinate the plants, and then you wait for a little bit, and pretty soon you've got a blueberry.
So do you hire a beekeeper to bring in?
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah, we get a beekeeper, and he's good. We'll position the bees. We'll have a pallet, a hive over there by the blue crop. We'll put a pallet along here, and then we'll put one over by the Rekas.
How many bees he brings in?
We'll bring in a dozen hives,
Okay.
and there'll be 4 to a pallet, and I don't know, the hives hopefully are full.
And then how long do they stay to pollinate?
About 3 to 4 weeks.
Okay. And then beekeeper rounds them back. They all come back to the hive and they take
Yeah,
off?
yeah,
Okay.
yeah. You don't move the hive while you're here, because if you move it, the bees will come back to this spot and they won't go to the hive. They're not looking for the hive. This is the blue crop, and they're a classic blueberry, have a classic flavor. We've got about 2,100 plants in the blue crop field. The longest rows here in this north-south area are 145 plants long, and then we have legacies, and they're a bush that's a little different. It's got some southern high bush in them. These are the legacies that I was talking about that have a little bit of southern high bush in their cultivation. One of my favorite berries, actually. I mean, my wife didn't like them to begin with, but she come around, and it's a favorite of a lot of people. We've seen some good growth on the legacies, and we're looking at a good crop for this year. All the other plants are northern high bush plants, but this one's got a little bit of southern high bush, and they're very firm and have excellent flavor. And then after that, we've got Liberty. Liberties are these 3 rows and then 3 plants beyond. They're a cross between an Elliott and a Brigitta. And they've got a a unique flavor too, and it's really kind of fun to have experienced it. We really like those. Chandlers, we planted those in 2018, and they're just starting to produce, and I've had one of our regulars that come out to U-Pick say, this is my new favorite variety. Big berries, the rows here go east-west. The purpose was to improve the drainage, and so there are about 72 to 75 plants in a row. They are a big berry. They're all pretty consistently big. And the interesting thing is, they taste pretty good. They taste real good. So for a big berry to taste good, that's a special thing. This is our Elliott Field. There's 8 rows of them. And the Elliots are a late season berry. They come on at the end of August and go into September. They can be tart, but they sweeten up over time. And in the instance of where you've got a tart berry, if you're making jam or something, boy, you're adding sugar, and so it really changes. It gives them some flavor. It's quite good. We really get into the Rekas, which are out in the far end of the field, and they will stay on the plant for a good month and just stay firm and increase in flavor. So this is the beginning of the Reka field. The Rekas were developed in New Zealand. They're a prolific producer. We've had a lot of people say that they kind of remind them of grapes, and they've got a bit of a complex flavor. You know, they come on and they look like they're ripe to begin with, but they're red where the stem is, and you give them 3 weeks or so, and all of a sudden it's like, wow, this is pretty good. And they stay firm on the plant very nicely. They'll stay firm for a good month or longer. Oh, we've got a row of jerseys also. So we have a lot of room to plant more berries, and that's kind of the thought that I have for somebody that's going to buy the farm, is to finish planting off some more berries.
And then some raspberries and aronia berries as well.
That's right. Yeah, we've got some aronia berries, which are very astringent, but they're a superfruit. And they're very productive. They're easy to maintain. You really don't have to do too much to them. And down at the end of the Spartan rows here, we've got a row of raspberries, or 6 raspberry or boysenberry plants actually, and then 2 rows of raspberries that are 6 apiece, and then some tayberries at this one here. Again, the raspberries come on before any of the blueberries, and the boysenberries do too. It's a great addition to the farm, and I see having more raspberry plants and boysenberry even available. We planted some fruit trees along the fence there, and there's raspberries to that metal post on both sides, and then tayberries beyond that. We've got some unplanted rows here and here that we want to fill out the planting.
And then a couple empty rows here.
Yeah, we've got some empty rows here. This is where I think the opportunity is, you know, to just fill out the field. You've got, the rows are in place, the irrigation's in place. These are the aronia berry plants. This one's gotten kind of carried away. We sell a 2.5 pound bag for 25 bucks. Yeah, but it's a special, I mean, nobody else is growing them, and it takes a bit of effort too.
When they're superfood, right?
That's right.
They're becoming more popular.
Yeah. So I always thought it would be an opportunity to juice them.
What would you say to the next owner of this property? Is there anything specific you'd want to share with them?
Well, I think the next people that buy the property, I would suggest that they continue to plant more plants, because part of what you're looking for is production, getting the production up, and it takes a while for the plants to mature. There's an opportunity, I think, for planting more boysenberries and raspberries. They're a plant that ripens before the blueberries and gets us into the markets a little sooner during the summer too.